All right, everybody, welcome in. Hello, darlings. Good morning to you. It's Wednesday, Winsday. And today in Pathfinders, I'm going to go deep on a subject. I'm actually going to go deep the rest of the year. So, for the rest of the year in Pathfinders, we are going to revisit our lessons on intuition. And for every single lesson I did in 2024, which you have access to, Pathfinders, you still have access to that, even if you're brand new. I will go deep on each of those lessons and give you more because I feel like there's so much going on in the world. Intuition is going to be your most valuable asset in many ways, in intuition and empathy. Definitely compassion. So let's see where we're going with the reading today. Answering the call. The time is now. Taking shelter. The answers are within. There's the intuition card. Journey by moonlight, believe in magic, and impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. This is what I keep seeing. I'm just going to say it like this. Hey, I'm doing everything right. Why isn't it working? I'm doing everything right. Why isn't it working? And I want to say to you that what we used to think was the right way may have changed. So if you're having trouble getting out of your own way in terms of your relationship or your money or whatever, or your work or whatever it is, everything has changed. The energy has shifted already. I've been talking for a long time, most of this year, about how that's showing up and it's showing up. And I talked about Pluto moving into Aquarius last year and it's showing up and it's right around the corner and all of these things. It's here. We are now in the split. We are now in the new energy. And so why would the old tools work now? I don't feel like they're going to. And I feel like that's something that's the reason that intuition and empathy / compassion are going to be very important. Okay, because not everybody is like you guys. Not everybody is sort of clued in to the fact that everything is changing. They're just thinking it's like, I don't know. Like the world is crazy. The world is just crazy, and that's the way it is, and blah blah blah. And I'm not really going to pay attention to it. You guys know different. You know that this is a spiritual path shift. You know this is an energetic shift for a long-term kind of deal, that we're moving definitely from one kind of age into another kind of age. It's challenging to be here during the handoff. And I think a lot of people are either sticking their head in the sand or they're just kind of assuming that, like, well, everything's just crazy. And that's the way it is. I want to recommend to you the virtue, the opportunity to, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we're into summer. We're going to be into summer officially. The solstice is on the 20th of June. And I invite you to utilize this season to really connect with yourself, to really go inside, to do this answering the call piece. And what I mean by that is recognize that you have the answers. The answers are within. So that's why the intuition piece is so important. There is something here about, so I'm just going to say this to you because I just feel like, hey, we're on a new path here. And so the old tools aren't working, but magic is working. There's something that's very, I don't know, light, airy, beautiful. Like when you see things that like aren't working anymore, or coming down, or crashing, or crumbling, or whatever it is, it's sort of like, see the magic in the opportunity here, instead of mourning the past, revel in the future. I mean, that's what we're really here. That's what we're really here doing, is we are the future. We are here as healers and teachers and guides and mystics and shamans. And if you're on my channel, that's who you are. And one by one, you've been waking up. One by one, you've been aware of your gifts. One by one, you've been paying attention. And now other people see impasse, you see opportunity. Other people see destruction or collapse. You're like, c'est la vie. Good. Good, good, good. There you are. Hermit. Queen of Swords. Abso-freaking-lutely. Page of Wands. King of Swords. And the Moon. So I've been doing the June readings for everybody. And Taurus is left. So Taurus is today. And one of the things I have noticed is that things do either come to a halt before they move on. It's almost like not like a relay race, you know, like the 4x4, 4x100 or whatever it is, when there's 4 people and they hand off the baton or whatever. It's not like that. It's not like, I mean, you are running when you're grabbing the baton, I suppose, but this actually feels like not us as spiritual warriors who are getting the baton handed to them, but I feel like the world itself, the world, the institutions, the things that are crashing are literally going to fully collapse or end. And then there's a like a space. So something isn't going to just start up. Although when you look back at it, you might be like, well, I saw the little flickerings of things because I have intuition and I have compassion. I saw the little flickerings of the new thing that were starting long before this thing ended, long before. But in the practice of it, it feels like there's a little space. So there could be some time between the end of a relationship and the time when we kind of sort it out and finish it. Right. There's a space, like, woo, big fight ending. Then there's time. Then there's another conversation that completely closes it down. Okay. Something like that. And we have a full moon in Sagittarius, which is very optimistic energy coming up. I see Aquarian energy here. I see Virgo energy here. I see Cancer energy here. And this can be the new moon in Cancer, which is happening June 20th on the solstice. And there's just something about like really seeing super clearly what needs to happen or where we're going. And there's a space, there's a time in between. And this reminds me of Midsummer Night's Dream. And the Puck soliloquy when he talks at the very end, the very last thing in the play, you know, if we visions have offended, think but this, and all is mended. You have just but slumbered here while these visions did appear, right? This is sort of like everything was just a mirage. Everything was not real. And now the thing that's standing, I'm getting a lot of spirit chills on this. Now the thing that's now you have an opportunity to create something that you really want. It's almost like, well, I came in, sort of in the fourth quarter and I kind of had to just like, slap it together because this is the structures that we're dealing with. This is the rules. This is and now all that's gone. Now there's something that you can build from scratch. And I do mean from scratch. I feel like it's time to really get rid of these rules, get rid of the structure. Saturn moved into Aries 10 days ago. It's going to be in Aries for the summer. In the fall, it's going to move back, or like September 1st, so not quite the fall yet. It's going to move back into Pisces a little bit. So there will be sort of a revisiting of the karmic lessons that we've had. Right? This might be the, hey, this is what's new coming, or this might be the space. No, the fall is the space. So right now we're going to be in this place of like, wow, this is really buckling. This is ending. This is closing down. This is shutting down. And the fall looks to me, I guess, will be the space that I was talking about, because next February 20th, we have Neptune conjunct Saturn at 0 degrees of Aries. And that's when the real birth will happen. So this summer, I'm just going to do something a little bit different here. This summer, it's time to, the answers are within, believe in magic. The impasse is coming down all around us. This is happening this summer. Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Five of Wands. So this is no major arcana cards. With that feels good to me. This feels like all of the fake facades that people had, because we're talking about Aries, and Aries is about identity. All of the fake identities that people had, good, bad, or otherwise, are going to be collapsing. So when I say that, I'm not really talking necessarily about institutions, although that can be true. What I'm talking about here is that the ego, and ego is not a bad word, but like the ego structures that we put around ourselves, I feel like the intuition that you have, that you are working with, gets stronger, or you're able to see through people's facades. I do feel like other people who are not really paying attention at all to intuition get a lot better at it than they used to be, and they kind of don't know why. Like, there's no practice here. I'm not watching tarot, I'm not looking at astrology, I'm not doing any of those things, but all of a sudden, wow, I'm seeing who you are. And that's this King and Queen of Swords over here. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of conflict because we allowed ourselves to swallow some red flags, not pay attention to them. Because after all, Saturn was in Pisces, and Pisces is all about, hey, sticking your head in the sand. And if you stick your head in the sand, there might be a price to pay for that. So like, oh, it's going to be fine. Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, these people are different than those people, right? We have on this planet right now a lot of polarity. And so, oh, these people are the good people. These are the bad people. And I just get the feeling it's going to be like, oh, I saw it the way I wanted to see it. And maybe that's not what it is. I just reshuffled. So, okay, I'm going to take this Justice card underneath, and I'm going to take that Knight of Swords. Now, we've got the King of Cups. I'll talk about that in a second. King of Cups, Two of Swords, the Lover's card. That's so interesting. There's something about reshuffling, like everything is being reshuffled. You saw somebody as an advocate for justice. Maybe they have a different agenda. You saw somebody as being helpful and kind, and actually maybe they weren't. Maybe they were telling you the wrong thing. Or you saw someone as being selfish, and really they need to take care of themselves, right? It's like the whole frame is crumbling. That's the thing. The frame is crumbling. The Two of Swords and the King of Cups. The King of Cups is an energy that says the masculine in me doesn't want to intermingle with empathy and feelings. Don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. But here's the impasse. Right? Here's the impasse. Here's the moment in time when I've got to make a decision about this. And I feel like the masculine in us, the one that, is dynamic and says, I'm moving forward. All of a sudden, there's a lot of empathy and a lot of compassion. And I'm talking to the collective here that says, wow, maybe I've felt drained recently. My empathy and compassion has just been taken advantage of. And so it's like really low. And so I don't know how much more I have to give, kind of a thing. King of Wands, Queen of Wands. Look at King and Queen of Swords, King and Queen of Wands. Masculine energy in the Wands and the Swords. Two of Cups. Six of Cups. Queen of Cups. King and Queen of Cups. King and Queen of Swords. King and Queen of Wands. No wonder I shuffled. Empress. Holy cow. Wow. So this is the masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. And we're getting, what are we missing? We're missing the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So I got, I got all three, I got 3 queens and 3 kings. And the ones that are missing usually are the loudest ones. So it can be something about financial, something that has been a big lie in the financial world. That can be one of the things that crumbles. The big lie about how money works, or how it doesn't work, or how we're making it work, or what, however we're creating it so that, you know, it's way harder for you to get. I feel like there's some people that may have a problem or a very depleted empathy because of what's ever been going on for a while. So some of you in the collective are like, I'm out of cares. I'm 0 fucks left. Okay. And there can be that, especially in terms of whatever's going on the planet, that you've been, you know, really open and affirming, caring for people, whatever. There's justice coming. There's justice coming. And I almost feel like a lot of us in the spiritual world are going to need to step in to be leaders. I talked about this the other day, about how the divine feminine, embracing her masculine, is saying, okay, not on my watch. This is how we're going to handle it. This is what we're going to do. So as a personal story, this might be something that you've gone through some chapters with a person. And the thing that's going to work is when you are integrated masculine, feminine, and when they are integrated masculine, feminine. I feel like the masculine that has the feminine element is the one that's kind of holding up the works. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. I feel like there's something about that because it has to do with feelings. And this, you can extrapolate that out to masculine energy. Divine masculine energy is holding back because it has to do with feelings. I feel like once we get to this place of the impasse crumbling, part of that impasse crumbling is that the masculine will be able to feel their feelings. Wow. Wouldn't that be a tremendous advance? So they're able to feel their feelings. The masculine is able to feel his feelings. And then there's action here. King and Queen of Wands, 2 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the Empress. Why is the Empress here? Because this is all the queens. So she has the, so the difference is the King of Pentacles, the one that's missing, has not been able to incorporate empathy. And the queens, because now we have all the queens here, she includes the Queen of Pentacles, has been able to do that. So the feminine is to the place where the empathy with all of the other things is being stepping into their combined, integrated masculine, feminine. The masculine that has not wanted to feel his feelings is the King of Pentacles. Because for whatever reason, if it has to do with money, it has to do with resources, that's the thing that stopped them. So what happens if those resources don't mean the same thing as they used to? Or what happens if we're not, let me see here. 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, different choice, 3 of Wands. Oh, that's beautiful. And the 3 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, now we're getting Pentacles here. This is about rebuilding together. So the Pentacles not meaning what it used to mean. Power, control, domination, security. What if the Pentacles didn't mean what it used to mean? And now we're able to build something together. Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. We're able to invest time and energy into building something that is completely new. Because if the King of Pentacles is saying, you know, I have all of these resources and you don't, what do those resources mean if they don't mean anything? So we have, the reason I'm talking about Pentacles, first of all, because of everything I just said to you, but we have Uranus at the very end of Taurus. And Taurus is about what makes us feel comfortable. Uranus is going to square Mars. I believe the 17th of June. Hold on. I'm going to tell you in 1 second. Mars squaring Uranus, 15th. Mars square Uranus. Mars is in Leo, very end of Leo. Uranus is the very end of Taurus. So it's almost like Mars taking some kind of fiery action, Leo, that makes me be the center of attention. I'm going to do something, and it's going to square Uranus and Taurus. And Uranus is about fast change to the earth. So June 15th, circle that on your calendar, because there's likely a King of Pentacles who's going to take some kind of action that is going to bring about a shift in maybe financial markets. This could be a global thing. If it's a personal thing, there's somebody who's trying to pull the money card to gain control, and it absolutely backfires. I feel like it absolutely backfires. Okay. So Empress here, what say you? Empress, 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, the World. Wow. Okay. So this is about the manipulation of markets. And I feel like this has to do with the manipulation of the financial markets. And I mean, that is going to be a lesson. Page of Pentacles. The Empress is trying to say that what you have relied upon for financial stability because of the Uranian transit through Taurus, when it squares Mars in Leo, there's going to be a lightning fast shift to the earth, to the ground underneath what we're standing on, right? The impasse. This is at least stable. Even if it's a wall, it's at least stable. It's at least solid. But this is about it not being solid. And so let's see what else I can get here. The King and Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups. This is about new partnerships, new alliances. Knight of Wands, 8 of Swords, Hanged Man. There's the Strength card. So there's going to be open to some kind of new partnership or new change, new alliances, new people in your life, new opportunities that maybe before weren't possible. But now it's going to be possible. Okay. And I feel like that is a very positive thing to say, given the fact of what I just said to you about the potential of, financial markets and things. But now it's like, there's nothing holding you back. There's nothing holding you back from making some kind of change in your life. This is really about the 8 of Swords feeling imprisoned. And instead of that, running away, there's just a sense of surrender to this new chapter, a new empowering chapter coming in. Wow. A new empowering chapter coming in. Anything more on that impasse? 5 of Cups, Chariot, Death, Nine of Wands. There's definitely some folks are going to feel a big loss. There's no question about it. If somebody goes for victory. So let's make this more personal, okay? Because this feels very big and maybe a little nebulous to some of you, which is interesting since Neptune is conjuncting Saturn right now. If somebody tries to pull a power card on you, especially as it relates to money, I feel like their chariot gets overturned. I feel like that is something that they used to be able to do, or they think they're able to do, and they're really not. So somebody who's in power is super arrogant, and they do something that they think will put people off their balance, but really it's them that gets thrown off the pedestal. Okay, so beware of pulling any kind of power games. Okay, like I doubt you guys would be doing this, but if somebody is trying to pull a power game on you, their chariot gets overturned. Okay, it's almost like, act like you've been here before, and you have. People who, especially those of you, I want to say this to you, and I said this yesterday about being the survivors of narcissistic abuse or of toxic, coercively controlling people or whatever it is. If they try to do it again, like now you have all of this information and knowledge. We've been talking about this for years, right? And there's something about like, here they come again, but they're misjudging the situation. First of all, they're misjudging you. They think you're the same person that they pulled all those tricks to before. No. So wait for it. Somebody tries to pull a power game on you. This is really, they're going to be sorry they did that. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's see what happens here. Link is below if you want to continue on. Pathfinders, I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.